Hi, welcome to Virtual CB1A. This is Miss Rena, and for this next section, nandun na tayo sa double angle and half angle formulas. I have here 5 formula for the double angle formulas. And since this is so much easier to prove than the sum and difference formulas dahil hindi natin kailangan mag-construct to prove that the left-hand side is really equal to the right-hand side, magpapakita ako ng isang proof for the formula. This is sine 2 theta is equal to 2 sine theta cosine theta. So, paano nangyari na equal siya sa 2 sine theta cosine theta? Saan ba equal si 2 theta? So, si 2 theta ay equal sa dalawang beses ng parehas na angle. So, we have theta plus theta. Therefore, we can write this as sine theta plus theta, right? And since meron na tayong addition dito of angles, we can use yung paulit-ulit kong ginagamit kanina na formula, sin cos, cosine. And then, just copy the operation for addition using the sine function. Fill up with the angles. Ayan, meron tayong sine theta, cosine theta, cosine theta, sine theta. Now, let's factor out cosine theta para mabuo na natin tong equation na to. So, ilabas natin si cosine theta. Ang matitira na lang sa loob mo ay, if you factor out cosine theta, on this term, you will be left with sine theta. On the second term, if you factor out cosine theta, matitira na lang ulit sa'yo ay sine theta. So, kung meron ka ng dalawang sine theta, that is equal to 2 sine theta. Now, let's arrange our equation. It is 2 sine theta cosine theta, which is equation 3.23. Okay? Okay. Now, let's apply these formulas, 3.23, 3.24, up to 3.27. Pero selected lang, syempre. On the following examples. Ayan. So, dito, sinulat ko rin yung mga, or ipinist ko rin yung mga formula natin na nandun sa first page so that we can easily choose which among them is useful for proving that the left hand and right hand side are equal. So, ano alam natin kay sine 3 theta? Sine 3 theta. We know that 2 theta is equal to theta plus theta, right? Si 3 theta, saan yan equal? So, we have 2 theta plus theta. Or, syempre, galing siya sa theta plus theta plus theta. But it is easier to use 2 theta plus theta since we already have here a formula specifically for sine 2 theta. So, sa double angle formula, we have sine 2 theta. Sulat natin siya as sine 2 theta plus theta. After this, ano yung susunod natin gagawin? We are going to make use of sin cos cosine ulit, yung addition ng angles. So, if you have sine A plus B, we have sine A cosine B plus cosine A sine B. Dito, ang magsaserve na A at B natin ay si 2 theta and theta. So, we can write sine 2 theta sin cos theta plus cos sin cos cos 2 theta sin cos cos sin. Okay, now that we have this equation, we are going to make use of the equations that we have here. Saan equals is sine 2 theta? Anong double angle formula natin para sa sine 2 theta? This sine 2 theta here is equivalent to this one. 2 sine theta cosine theta. So, sulat natin dito, in place of this one, syempre, nakadikit pa rin si cosine theta. Nasa loob niya is 2 sine theta cosine theta. Okay? Plus, dito, may equivalent din si cosine 2 theta. That is cosine squared theta minus sine squared theta. So, sulat natin dito sa space na to, yung value niya, and then para dito sa kabila, baka kasi makalimutan si sine theta. So, replace na natin. Substitute. Cosine squared theta minus sine squared theta. What are we going to do next? So, next, we are going to distribute the ones na nandito sa labas. So, distribute natin sila. We have 2 sine theta. We have dalawang cosine theta. So, magkakaroon ka ng cosine squared theta. Okay? So, by doing this, we already eliminated one parenthesis. So, mag-eliminate tayo ng isa pang parenthesis. Dito sa kabila, we have cosine squared theta. Distribute natin itong si sine theta on both of them. Sine theta times cosine squared theta is cosine squared theta sine theta minus, dito naman natin siya i-distribute sa kabila, sine theta times sine squared theta. Magkakaroon ka ng sine cube theta because we have sine squared theta times sine theta. Tatlo na yung sine theta mo, we have sine cube theta. Now, let's analyze our equation. So, if you are going to look at the first term and the second term, merong parehas sa kanila, di ba? And that is cosine squared theta. So, ilabas natin si cosine squared theta. Si cosine squared theta, nung inilabas natin siya, natira sa loob ay si 2 sine theta. So, we factored out cosine squared theta. We are now left with 2 sine theta. And, dito naman sa second term, just sine theta. And then, dun sa dulo, we have sine cube theta. Medyo lumilinaw na, no? Kasi may sine cube theta tayo dito. Tapos may sine cube theta rin tayo dito sa dulo. Now, what are we going to do next? If you will take notice, 2 sine theta plus sine theta, pwede na natin siyang i-simplify. We have cosine 2 theta times 3 sine theta. Ayun, napalabas na natin si 3 sine theta. But we're not done yet. Because all of these terms are in sine function. But we still have cosine squared theta. Saan equal si cosine squared theta? So here, you will see that we actually have a value for cosine squared theta by the use of cosine 2 theta and sine squared theta. So, derive natin siya. Cosine 2 theta, using addition property of equality, lipat natin si sine squared theta sa kabila, magkakaroon na siya ng plus sine squared theta. And finally, on the right-hand side, may iwan na lang si cosine squared theta. So, substitute natin yung value na cosine 2 theta plus sine squared theta dito sa cosine squared theta natin dito sa dulo. This is now cosine 2 theta times, kulang pa, plus sine squared theta, itong buong to, multiplied by 3 sine theta. Himayin natin isa-isa ha, kung saan siya nanggaling. So, ito po ay ito. Okay? And this is still this. For the last part, we have negative sine cube theta. Ito pa rin siya. Yan. Nag-substitute lang tayo ng value. Ito yon. Yan. Ito mga green, sinubstitute natin sila dito sa part na to. Now, are we done? Not yet. Why? We have to get rid of cosine 2 theta. How are we going to do that? So, cosine 2 theta, ito, cosine 2 theta is actually equal to this one. 1 minus 2 sine squared theta. So, palitan natin to. Si cosine 2 theta by this. 1 minus 2 sine squared theta. You will be left with 1 minus 2 sine squared theta plus sine squared theta. Mumultiply natin siya by, ito pa rin, 3 sine theta. Bagsak pa rin siya. Minus sine cube theta. Dire-diretso lang tayo. Now, let's examine this outline of the equation. If you will take notice, dito sa loob ng parenthesis na to, yung 2 sine squared theta at saka sine squared theta, like terms sila. So, pwede mo to pasimplihin as 1 minus negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. So, minus sine squared theta na lang. Okay? Times 3 sine theta minus sine cube theta. Lumalapit na tayo sa ending. Distribute natin si 3 sine theta on both terms. We have 3 sine theta minus, dito naman sa kabila, sine squared theta times 3 sine theta. We have 3 sine cube theta. Kasi meron ka na ditong sine squared, meron ka ditong sine, 2 plus 1, 3. Minus sine cube theta. Ha! Dulo na tayo. Itong dalawa, like terms sila. So, let's combine them. We have 3 sine theta minus 4 sine cube theta. And this is the final step for our proving. Nagawa na nating equal si sine 3 theta kay 3 sine theta minus 4 sine theta. Lagyan natin dito yung check. Tradition namin, lagyan ng check sa taas ng equal sign to show that the left-hand side is proven to be equal to the right-hand side. So that will be it for our discussion for the double angle formula. Actually, nag-prepare pa ako dito ng isang example, but I will just upload this on a separate video since masyado nang mahaba yung video natin. Thank you very much for listening and see you next time. Bye!